What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Jon Jones confirms rumors about getting knocked out. Earlier this year, Carlos Condit revealed that years back when he and Jon Jones were both training at Jackson's MMA in New Mexico, a fighter by the name of Imavov dropped both him and Jones in training. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. While out in Thailand filming for the Russian version of The Ultimate Fighter, Jon Jones was asked about the situation and confirmed the story.
Islam Makhachev. KO. Very true story. Spinning back kick. Upper. Me down. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes it happens. Next time.
Carlos Condit.
Carlos Condit, yes. Carlos Condit, me, Carlos.
And he's
one
friends,
day.
yeah.
Adlan, two people. How that show? Oh, that show.
According to Jones, the show has now finished up filming and he's back in America. In a post on Thursday, the champion updated fans. Just touched down at LAX. Feel great to be back on American soil. Considering there's been no news regarding the Jones-Aspinall fight, fans decided to take matters into their own hands. During Thursday's UFC 316 press conference, fans decided to chant "Strip Jon Jones."
The fans made a petition to strip Jon Jones of the belt with almost 200,000 signatures. What are your thoughts on this?
So I think a fight between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall is bigger if they are both champions. I'm hopeful they're going to fight in December in Las Vegas. I have no inside information, but I don't know that Jon Jones really gives a rip if they strip him of the heavyweight championship. He's still going to fight Tom, hopefully, and it's still going to be a bag.
While Jon Anik is hopeful that the two fight in December in Las Vegas, there have also been theories that the two will wind up throwing down at Madison Square Garden in November. With no word from the UFC, however, there's no telling how things will play out. Last night, Jon Jones went on a crazy social media rant. No joke, Jon Jones tweeted out more than 15 times last night about the whole Tom Aspinall situation, and unlike Conor McGregor, he kept the tweets up. Jon Jones started off by responding to a fan saying Aspinall is the current champion, to which Jon Jones fired back with, "That's awesome, you guys could use one." Then Jon Jones said this about Tom Aspinall: "Unfortunately, my boy is not as special as his fan base thinks he is right now. I've seen Tom get tapped out twice now by two different people. Time will show. Here today, gone tomorrow." Another fan questioned Jon Jones, saying if Tom Aspinall isn't that good, why not fight him? To which Jon Jones fired back with, "I remember like it was yesterday, 3 years since anyone saw me fight. The mass amount of critics, Jones looks so old. He's too slow now. Gone going to be too fast. Jones has never faced someone this big. He's never faced a kickboxer of this caliber. The French and the casuals were convinced Gane was the future of the heavyweight division. I showed up, I won. Then, crickets." Another fan tried to correct Jon Jones by saying that Aspinall has only been tapped out once, to which Jon fired back saying, "Once, twice to me really makes no difference. My point is the kid's not special, and he has no top lip, which I also find annoying," and followed it up with, "Appreciate all the folks who corrected me. I said Tom got submitted twice, but turns out it was just once by a guy everyone calls Cousin Earl. Then he got TKO'd by some other random. Tough to remember who did what when there were multiple people involved." When a fan said Jon Jones was scared to fight Tom Aspinall, Jones responded saying, "It really has nothing to do with fear. The question I ask my close friends and family is how much higher can a person like me climbing this sport? The goal for athletes is to build a brand and then take that brand and become so much more than an athlete. A lot of the fans and fighters are not used to seeing someone go out on top the way I have. I get that it's uncomfortable, and I don't expect people to understand territories that they've never been." Then Jon Jones basically said he's giving up the heavyweight belt in a lengthy post. "I spoke to the UFC a long time ago about what my future plans were. I haven't really worked out since my last fight in New York City. Honestly, I believe it's been in the UFC's best interest to keep presenting me as the company's champion, not Tom. I've just been playing the role of the company man by doing nothing at all and holding the position. And truthfully, it's been incredibly lucrative. I've made more money off of Tom being the interim champ than Tom has himself. It sucks to see the rest of the division get slowed down like this, but that has nothing to do with me. I don't pull the strings." And followed it up with, "And remember, you can't strip a guy like me at this point. I give up the belt freely. Veni vidi vici." And lastly, Jones reacted to a viral image of him and Tom Aspinall and wrote this: "I call this photo rent-free. Kept the attention of an entire country while doing nothing at all." What are your thoughts on the situation? Let us know in the comments below. Della Maddalena says Islam Makhachev fight will happen in October or November. While we know that a fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena is inevitable, since JDM's big win over Belal Muhammad, there's really been no indication from the UFC regarding when the fight may happen. During a recent appearance on the Grin Reaper's channel, JDM revealed that the fight will happen before the end of the year, and it'll likely happen in the United States. I think it'll be in the US, probably October, November. They were meant to have a Mexico pay-per-view, but I think it's all changed. Now, it's early October in Vegas. The comments align with those made by Ali Abdelaziz during a recent interview with MMA Junkie, where the Dominance MMA head said that the two will hopefully fight in October, November, or December. Much like he said back in May when JDM won the title, when it comes time for Makhachev to fight for the welterweight belt, the UFC has no plans to have him compete for an interim belt, even if it means stripping JDM of the title. As he told Mike Bond this week, Islam Makhachev will fight for a UFC title, not an interim title, this year, 100%. While the MMA community is eager to see the JDM Makhachev fight, Juliana Pena revealed during her media day appearance this week that she thought Belal Muhammad got robbed when he and JDM threw down last month.
I didn't think Belal lost. I watched that fight and I was like, yeah, we got it, and he won. And then when they called it for the other guy, kudos to him, but I thought that Belal won, so I didn't really give him any pep talk except for the fact that, I'm sorry, my brother, you got robbed, so...
The way JDM's coach sees things, Muhammad's been a pretty sore loser since the two fought on the UFC 315 card. During his appearance on the Grin Reapers, he explained why.
Belal was looking ahead. Like every interview I listened to, he never really spoke much about Jack, and it was always about the ramifications of his win and where he was going to go next. And I felt like he massively overlooked Jack. Now when he analyzes what's going on, he has give Jack no credit, just said he did the wrong thing. He did one interview with his bestie, and Belal never mentioned Jack's name once in the whole interview, which annoyed me because he never shook his hand after the fight, and I sort of wrote that off to concussion and being in state after the fight. And you should shake someone's hand after a war like that. Do you know what I mean? And you should share a bit of mutual respect. And then to not even give Jack any flowers like post-fight, I feel like it's a really bad mentality to have, because he's not going to take away any of the mistakes he made. He just thinks he on the next day will beat Jack the way he was supposed to this time. And
Between a Makhachev-JDM fight, Tom Aspinall looking to return to action, and Alexander Volkanovski wanting to defend his belt, the end of the year is shaping up to be big for the UFC. Ilia Topuria's team sends a warning to Charles Oliveira. Although this weekend's UFC 316 card has the MMA community buzzing, it's the lightweight title fight between Charles Oliveira and Ilia Topuria this month that really has fight fans excited. With just weeks to go until a new lightweight champion is crowned, Ilia Topuria's striking coach, Javi Clement, took some time to issue a warning to DuBronx while speaking with Alvaro Colmenero this week, letting the former lightweight champion know that El Matador's locked in and ready to put on a masterclass in the International Fight Week headliner. This preparation was the first time that Ilia has me completely disconnected, me hitting down. He disconnected my nervous system and I was forgetting combinations. The sparrings have shown us that it will make a masterpiece on June 28. As of Thursday, the MMA community seems to be backing Topuria, with the former featherweight champion sitting as a pretty comfortable betting favorite on most major sportsbooks. This Saturday is about to be an absolute banger. The UFC is dropping a stacked card, and if you're betting on it, nobody gives you more ways to win than MyBookie. MyBookie is an easy and convenient way to bet on your favorite sports, including the UFC, and with UFC 316 this Saturday. In the main event, Merab the Machine Davishvili meets Sugar Sean O'Malley for the bantamweight strap. Everyone knows Merab's pressure is relentless, but O'Malley's sitting at plus 231, and one clean shot could flip everything. Then in the co-main, Kayla Harrison makes her UFC pay-per-view debut against former champion Juliana Pena. Harrison's a heavy favorite at -667, but if Pena pulls off another upset, that's 5 times your money. With MyBookie, you've got the edge. Boosted odds, early cash outs, deep props on every fight. It's the sportsbook that actually works for you. Sign up with our promo code MMAZone and boost your bankroll. Deposit $50 and get an extra $25, or go in with $100 and MyBookie adds on $50. UFC 316, all the fights, big bets, big wins, only at MyBookie. UFC fans not happy with UFC 316 press conference. Ahead of this weekend's UFC 316 card, the UFC held their Fight Week press conference on Thursday, with Merab, Sugar Sean O'Malley, Kayla Harrison, Juliana Pena, and several other fighters set to compete on the card. After just 15 minutes, however, the press conference ended, leaving the MMA community confused. MMA Guru quickly took to social media, blaming the situation on the Strip Jon Jones chants and the question regarding the UFC potentially stripping Jones of the title. The shortest UFC press conference of all time just took place for UFC 316, literally a 13-minute press conference from when they were all sat down and questions began. They got one Strip Jon Jones question and decided to wrap things up before they got more. Whether or not the question about Jones, which was asked just a few minutes before the end of the presser, played a role in the situation, plenty of other fans weren't happy either. UFC press conferences suck now, no trash talkers anymore. Another added, UFC 316 press conference was 15 minutes long, and Anik opened it by saying, "Tickets still available, LOL." Plenty of others agreed. UFC promotion is whack. We got an 8-minute press conference and 37 seconds was John Anik saying we have tickets available. Sad. Another MMA community member replied, "Another 15 minutes press conference. They should be 30 minutes at least, and the questions need to be better." Others feel as though the presser was reflective of the state of the UFC. Another short, uninspired, porta-potty diarrhea of a press conference. The UFC deserves its decline. While Dana White wasn't on hand for the press conference, he'll likely field questions about the short press conference and the Strip Jon Jones chants during the post-fight presser. Nassourdine Imavov talks about next UFC fight. Since Nassourdine Imavov's big victory over Israel Adesanya back in February, there's been little word on when the top-ranked middleweight will be back in action. Although he shot down a fight with Caio Borralho, Imavov doesn't want to simply sit and wait for a crack at the title. This week, the streaking contender revealed via Instagram that if neither of the UFC 319 headliners pull out, then he plans to defend his #1 contender spot in September when the UFC heads back to Paris. "I don't intend to sit on my #1 ranking. I'm preparing for the backup spot on August 16th. If no one pulls out, we'll call someone out for Paris. That's the deal with the UFC." While Imavov seems to have his sights set on a return in September, if his services aren't needed on August 16th, he didn't give any sort of indication as to who he wants to fight. Considering the rankings, however, a rematch with Sean Strickland or a fight with Caio Borralho could be a possibility given Imavov's history with Strickland and the recent callouts from Borralho. UFC Fight Updates. Heading into this weekend's UFC 316 card, let's take a look at some UFC Fight Updates that might have flown under the radar. Starting with a new addition to the UFC Vegas 108 card at the Apex on August 2nd. According to reports, Grant Dawson and Joel Alvarez are set to throw down in a lightweight bout that'll see both guys look to extend their 3-fight win streaks. Just a few weeks later, Alexander Hernandez and Chase Hooper may or may not be scheduled to fight on the UFC 319 card. According to a leaked DM exchange with the McGregor-Rousey superfan account, the two will be fighting on the DDP Chimaev card. The screenshot shows Hooper announcing the fight, with the fan favorite then replying, "Source?" and the McGregor-Rousey account responding, "Alexander Hernandez told me." And last but not least, ahead of his fight with Vicente Luque this weekend, Kevin Holland took some time to call out Colby Covington during his media day appearance after his viral back and forth with Bilal Muhammad earlier in the week. "Whoever they give me next, that's who I'm gonna take. I ain't got no names listed out. If it's Bilal, it's Bilal. But I doubt it's Bilal. He won a lot of fights recently. He's only coming off one loss. I'm looking for the worst 170 guy there is, so I'm looking more like Colby Covington after this one." So far, no response from Covington. Concerns rise for Sean O'Malley training camp. Heading into Sugar Sean O'Malley's rematch with Merab this weekend, the former champ's been pretty open about the fact that he's been working on his grappling quite a bit. According to Triple C Henry Cejudo, he's hearing that O'Malley's been focused on his bottom game and not on getting back to his feet. During the latest episode of he and Kamaru Usman's Pound for Pound show, he opened up on the situation.
I think the biggest deal with O'Malley is, did he formulate his camp correctly? Again, there's a lot of birdies out there. I'm going to say here at Pound for Pound, he's just working jiu-jitsu. He's not working his get-up, his stand-up. He's not investing in his camp. Like, he's not bringing in guys for money. He's getting all these Arizona kids that have big mouths. That's just the thing. No, it's true. It's true. That's true. It's 100% true.
I don't think money's an issue.
So
I mean, you got Ferrari, you got Lambo, you got.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be. But to him, he just wants to keep everything. I don't know. Maybe he's cheap. He wants to keep everything like in house. And when you do that, Kamaru gets out there. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why I know people listen to me. Bet the house. Merab Dvalishvili via damn decision, 50-45.
While the two have kept things pretty respectful compared to the build-up for their first fight, Dvalishvili and O'Malley wound up in a heated exchange during Thursday's brief presser.
You know, I truly believe I'm going to knock Merab out. Come Sunday, no one's going to give a about Merab, and that's just, it is what it is.
Keep talking, and you're going to get more humble. I'm making people humble. And you will see June 7th. Yeah, you was playing all this time like a humble guy, but okay, I'll show you again, one more time. Keep talking.
Although a win on Saturday would put him back on top of the division, O'Malley explained during a sit-down with Daniel Cormier that his biggest motivator isn't reclaiming UFC gold, it's avenging his loss to Merab Dvalishvili.
It's going to feel better beating Merab that I'm beating Merab rather than getting the belt back. But it is cool when you look back. I took the belt from Aljamain Sterling, the greatest bantamweight of all time at the time. I took the belt from Merab Dvalishvili, the greatest bantamweight of all time at the time. They're training partners. You know, it's a movie. You can't make that up. So I think that'll be a cool storyline. But as far as, like, I just want to beat Merab. Like, the belt coming with it is extra, and you get paid more when you're the champ. So that's always great. But yeah, this is more just like, I want the Merab win back rather than I need the belt back.
Considering that O'Malley's going into the fight healthy after a full camp, rather than with a hip injury like he did the first time around, he's expecting a different fight. From the sounds of things, however, the machine's ready for whatever. During their face-to-face stare-down at the end of Thursday's press conference, O'Malley said, "Different fight this time, you know that." In response, the champion said, "I know that, I'm ready." As the one and only John Anik says, "One more sleep until these two share the cage." UFC forced to change rules to UFC 316. It's being reported that the New Jersey Athletic Control Board for UFC 316 will not be following the unified rules of MMA. And before we continue, we have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day. This means that the recent rule changes regarding 12-6 elbows and knees to grounded opponents will no longer be in effect and are deemed illegal in New Jersey. Aaron Bronstetter posted the news writing, "For UFC 316, the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board have not adopted the unified rules of MMA. Fighters with one hand or two hands on the mat will be considered grounded opponents, and 12-6 elbows will be illegal." What are your guys' thoughts on the UFC 316 rule change? Do you think it'll affect any of the fights? Let us know in the comments below.